Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be reacting to dumbest criminals who got caught on camera. Yeah, it's kind of weird because if you know you're doing something illegal, something that you shouldn't do, wouldn't you like think it through and like be more careful about cameras and stuff? Like, I don't know exactly what kind of like security cameras or just, I guess mostly security cameras, but if you know there are cameras, like, wouldn't you just like, I don't know, be more cautious about getting caught? I don't know. But anyway, I don't know because I'm not a criminal. But yeah, let's get into this video, see what happens, and please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below.
In a world full of cunning masterminds and slick thieves, there exists a group so unbelievably foolish that their attempts at criminality have become legendary. From the mind-bogglingly foolish to the absurdly inept, these hapless criminals have redefined the meaning.
Where'd she come from? She fell like nothing happened.
So buckle up and get ready for the roller
or she got up like nothing happened.
Wonders and bluffs as we dive deep into the bewildering world of some of the dumbest criminals. Join us as we have a look at 15 of the dumbest thieves.
I was just about to ask how many.
Number 15, Hannah Zapata. In 2012, Hannah Zapata from Waco, Texas, thought that she was a super smart criminal. She had robbed a bank with a weapon and got away with $6,000, but she also stole a Pontiac Grand Am thinking that she was like Robin Hood.
Wait,
instead
you rob a bank and only get
$6,000? She had a different idea. She decided to make a YouTube video about her crimes. She bragged about everything that she did, like she was teaching a class on how to
commit a crime and then
even showed off her stolen
record
cash
evidence
on camera. Instead of
and
staying
out yourself
quiet and avoiding attention, she showed her crime to the entire world. And I mean, really, what was she thinking?
She gets what she deserved.
Did she expect that the police would give her applause? It didn't take long for the authorities to find her. They found her video online and then arrested
and she's
her
smiling
on the same day.
That she got
arrested. Must have been
arrested.
Quite the facepalm moment for the police. As for Hannah, she basically gave them all the evidence that they needed, and it was an open and shut case.
The evidence came
her
from
dream
herself.
Of being a famous YouTuber would be ruined, and she got a long prison sentence. Uploading a confession to YouTube is really dumb, but think about how much worse it could have been. What if she had began making tutorials on how to get away with bank robberies, or even teamed up with other criminals? The internet would have probably gone crazy with bad ideas. Number 14, the sleeping burglar.
Why is he blurred?
In a shocking display of incompetence, a 22-year-old thief from Thailand has become a laughingstock within the criminal world.
Why is the video blurred?
This wannabe burglar did something that burglars usually try to avoid. He actually fell asleep on the job. That's right, the guy could not resist the cozy comforts of a stranger's bed and simply dozed off while trying to steal valuable things. It happened one night in the peaceful province,
just fall asleep in the middle of a crime,
darkness, when the sleepy thief broke into a home around 2 a.m. His cunning plan included the use of an air conditioner to stay comfortable, but he didn't realize that the cool air would actually be his downfall. As he enjoyed the cool breeze, he grew more and more sleepy, and the combination of a soft bed and a chilled room would put him into a deep sleep.
Also, what do you do when you come back home and you see some random person sleeping in your bed?
Have the sense
like,
not to doze off while committing a crime.
You call the police and stay in the house, or you leave the house?
Surprise! He was shocked.
Or do you leave the house and then call the police? Or I don't understand how that works.
He was a police officer, adding a hilarious
you jump them?
twist to the whole story.
Oh no.
The groggy thief was woken up by the amazed homeowner who wasted no time in calling authorities, and the confused thief was facing the consequences of his ill-fated nap. The authorities
Why was it blurred?
and arrested the bumbling criminal. He would be charged with burglary and trespassing, sealing his fate as one of the most inept thieves in recent memory. But let's not be too hard on the guy. Perhaps he just needed a good night's sleep after a long day of work. You know, stealing can be tiring, or so they say. Number 13, the bizarre tactics. In the world of crime, we have quite a variety of characters. First, there's the not-so-smart thief who tried to make a TV disappear. She squatted over the box, held it between her legs, and then covered it with her dress. It was like
how do you walk?
Strange magic trick.
What? How do you hold
wonder that she wasn't caught.
a box
she probably left the store
between your legs and walk normally?
But wait, there's more. We also have a duo from Brazil who thought that they could copy the Costa Rican thief They stuffed toiletries in their underwear and casually walked out of the store.
Who's holding the
What a
camera?
terrible disguise.
What?
The shopkeeper saw right through it all and made them show what they had hidden. Hopefully, they learned their lesson and left the stolen items behind for punishment. And let's give credit to this one who had a bit of creativity. She planned to steal a top from a clothing store with special shorts that had a secret pouch. It was as though she was some kind of fashion kangaroo on a mission. Sadly, her fashion-forward theft was quickly stopped. A sharp-eyed store employee would catch her and expose her crimes with no mercy.
Who is holding the
I bet
camera?
that she probably regretted putting so much effort into her criminal kangaroo outfit. It seems this technique of hiding things
But how
under
do you?
dresses
How does
is
she walk
popular amongst
normally?
these
I don't
creative
understand.
thieves. In any case, it's reassuring to know that observant
Uh,
shopkeepers catch
that
these
doesn't make sense
criminals
to
in
me.
the act. Let's just hope that they thoroughly
She put a
clean the
box between her
stolen
legs and
items
then
before
walk
putting them
like
back on the shelves.
normal.
Because
What?
no one wants to buy toiletries that have been on an adventure in someone's underpants, right? Number 12.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Goldinsky's failed acting career.
Wow.
Meet Alexander Goldinsky, a contractor turned aspiring actor and insurance fraudster. He thought that he could pull off a double act by pouring some ice on the floor, stepping on it, and then faking a dramatic slip. It's quite the performance, I must say. After the video ended,
The
this
worst
cunning con artist
staged
then
fall.
took it up a notch. He rolled around on the floor like a true thespian until a concerned colleague found him and called an ambulance. It was then that he went off to the hospital, concocting an elaborate scheme to milk the insurance company. Alexander filed a hefty claim demanding payment for the ambulance ride and supposed high-cost treatment for his imaginary injuries, but his grand plan would fall apart faster than a house of cards. The company launched an investigation and stumbled upon the embarrassing surveillance footage. It would expose Alexander's fraudulent
It's so dumb,
theatrics
and
right
you're gonna be in
away.
court
Instead of a
as they
fat
play the
insurance
video.
payout, he had to cough up
I would die from cringing at
$563
myself.
in restitution, face 2 years of probation, and endure 14 hours of community service. Quite the punishment for a failed actor turned fraudster. And it seems as though Alexander's dreams of a career in deception have crumbled. I doubt that any reputable contractor would be eager to hire him again.
Dang, what happens to these
However,
people
if
like
I was in
after
his
they
shoes,
finish
I
their
would suggest that he get
time
an agent
of
and audition for acting
punishment?
roles, because with acting skills
Like,
like those, it's clear
is
that he's
it, like, on
destined
a
for the
record,
silver screen
like
and not
for
the
future
slippery
people to hire
floor.
them?
Number
Like you
11,
did something dumb?
Locked in mischief.
I guess it is, right?
There's this funny Australian teenager
Wait,
who
what
walks
number is?
into a
They're
store
on.
with a clever
Oh, I guess they're
idea.
counting
He
backwards.
puts a whole crate of alcohol on the counter, thinking that he's pulling off a huge crime right in front of the
That is so
shopkeeper.
dumb.
It's just taking mischief from a
No,
teenager.
not just dumb,
He
but
stands near
so
the automatic
cringy.
doors, ready
Like you try to
grab the
leave and then the
drinks
door
and run
doesn't
away
open,
before anyone can
and then
react. But
you're just
here's where
stuck in
the surprise
there
comes in.
in the
The
awkward
shopkeeper,
situation.
like a smart detective, notices the
And the guy on
teenager's
his phone,
suspicious
like,
behavior, and instead
is
of
that
panicking
his
or calling
friend?
for help, he calmly uses a remote control to lock the doors. The teenage thief is now stuck inside of the store that he thought that he could outsmart. What a funny twist.
And he's with
The
his friend,
teenager's
right?
face shows his surprise when he realizes that he's been tricked, and instead of getting away with Jack Daniels and Coke, he's trapped like a kangaroo in a pouch, panicking as he searches his pockets for money to pay for the drinks he never planned to purchase in
And do the
first
police
place.
show up?
And to make things even worse, he now has to face the shopkeeper, the person
And
that
he's
he
with
had
his
tried to
friend,
rob.
right?
It's a
Dang,
conversation
so
that's full of
awkward.
awkwardness. And so
His
this
friend should get in
troublemaking
trouble too,
Australian
because I'm pretty
teenager
sure he
thought that
knew
had the
what was
perfect
happening.
crime planned out, but fate and a clever shopkeeper had different ideas. In the end, all he got was nothing.
Because,
and
like,
a hard lesson about
why would
underestimating
he?
shopkeepers.
Why would that guy just stay on his phone?
Number
Like he wouldn't
10,
look up to see what was
wake-up
happening.
call.
He probably knew what was gonna happen,
Once again, we
and
have
keeping
a
his head
funny
down so he
case of a
doesn't get caught on the
burglar with
camera.
a strange
I don't know.
bedtime routine. This sneaky thief breaks into a house to steal valuable things. He sees some shiny jewelry, and he quickly puts them in his pocket and looks around. But then he finds a mattress on the floor.
What is with these
and instead
people
of stealing
taking
more, he
naps
decides to take a nap.
mid-crime? I don't
He plans to
understand.
sleep for 15 minutes, but ends
What is
up
wrong with
sleeping
him?
for many hours. Now the homeowner returns and is surprised to see a random person sleeping on their floor. They call the police right away, and they come to deal with the sleeping.
And the guy just goes back to sleep.
Finally, after what feels like forever, that sleepy burglar wakes up. And what does he see? Well, police officers standing in front of him, giving him a big
Oh
fright.
no!
Talk about a rude awakening. The officers search him, and
And
surprise,
who's recording?
surprise, they
Like,
find all of the
you see a
stolen
stranger in your
goods.
house and you're just gonna
Cell
stand there and
phones,
record,
cash, and
or
more jewelry all
is that
hidden
a
inside
hidden
a home.
camera in your house?
Well, it looks like
Like, if I
crime
saw
really
a stranger
does
in my
not
house,
pay.
I wouldn't
The
stand
stolen
right
things are
there
returned to their
and record
owners,
them.
and the burglar is left with nothing but a hazy
Like,
memory
that
of
wouldn't
his
be my
failed
first
nap.
thought.
As he's handcuffed, he realizes that being a burglar is not a good career choice. It's definitely a wake-up call for him.
I
Number
guess take
9,
pictures as proof,
Jesse
but
Berube.
to stand there the whole
Back
time,
in
like, what if they wake up
2017, there
and
was a
get
burglar named Jesse
violent?
Berube who had decided to become the master of foolishness. He went above and beyond to prove himself as being one of the dimmest criminals ever by actually calling 911 on himself. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would somebody do that?
Wait, what?
Well,
Why is
let
his
me just
face?
tell you the hilarious story. During the merry month of
What's wrong
December,
with his face?
he had an ambitious plan. He wanted to play Santa Claus and break into a business in Citrus Heights, California by sliding down their chimney. You know, just like the real Santa Claus does. But here's the
Oh,
catch. Jesse actually
that
had
makes
no
sense why his
experience
face looks
in
like that.
chimney navigation. It was his very first time in attempting such a daring feat. And as he descended the chimney, his grand plan hit
Dang,
one
he watched too
major
many
snag
cartoons.
because he ended up getting stuck. Poor Jesse had found himself in a tight, dark space, unable to wriggle himself out. After some futile attempts to escape, he would reluctantly reach into his pocket, pull out his phone, and then dial 911.
That seems like a tight space. How did he even
It really
reach his
is amazing
phone?
having a burglar calling the police for help, all while trapped in a chimney. I can only imagine the laughter that echoed through the police station as they listened to his plea for assistance. Eventually, the brave officers made their
And
way
his
to the scene,
mugshot
only to
has
discover
the
him
evidence
covered head to
forever.
toe in soot like a real-life chimney sweep gone wrong. After a good round of laughter, the police would successfully rescue him from his self-inflicted predicament, but instead of giving him a pat on the back, they would charge him with attempted burglary. Jesse had the unique distinction of being the only criminal to have snitched on himself. Number 8. Door Trap. Imagine this bold thief thinking that he's slicker than an oiled banana peel, breaking into the store like a wannabe action hero. He sees that enticing door, probably thinking, easy peasy in and out.
He got locked
But little
in.
did he know that door was a cunning trap that was set by the store's owner. As he entered, the door slammed shut behind him, like a cruel prank that had been played on gravity itself, trapped like a hamster in a wheel. The thief must have felt like a trapped cat trying to escape a bath. But wait, the fun doesn't end there. Inside the sneaky store, there were 3
he turned the
locked
lights
doors
on?
that even a wild rhino could not budge. It's like the store owner was a mastermind escape room designer. No matter how hard the thief had tried to break out, it became a futile dance with stubborn doors. And take a look at that poor thief, sweating like a long-distance runner, desperately trying to break free. However, only ending up with more bruises than a tomato in a blender. And to make things worse, the entire thing would be captured on camera, immortalizing his not-so-successful attempt and escape.
At which point did he turn the lights
crazy,
on?
An alarm alerts the cavalry. The police arrive at the scene, trying hard to keep a straight face, as they discovered the trapped thief inside the very place he had planned to rob. In the end, he got his brief moment of fame, not as a cunning criminal mastermind, but as the star of his own silly reality comedy. The store owner's clever trap had turned out to be the ultimate booby prize for our unlucky burglar. Number 7. The Pickup Truck Debacle. If you've ever seen one of those fancy heist movies with their grand plans and thrilling escapes, you know that they always have a few key ingredients. A quirky team of misfits, a very cool montage, and of course the perfect getaway vehicle. But it seems that our bumbling thief had missed the memo entirely in this one. Our not-so-bright criminal pulls off a robbery, feeling like the mastermind of the century. He sprints out of the store, adrenaline pumping, only to make a colossal blunder, because instead of securing his loot,
Okay, there are a lot of
passively tosses
random
it into the
clips.
open bed of his pickup truck. I mean, seriously, who does
Like, I'm
that?
trying to focus on the
Now,
main
we
story,
all
but
love a good chase
there's a lot of
scene,
random
the
clips
tension,
that
the excitement, the heart
don't
pounding in your chest. But this
really
particular
relate to the
pursuit was
picture.
more of the
Well, I guess they do, but it's
lackluster
distracting
variety.
a little bit.
As our thief speeds away, a store employee casually strolls up to the truck, snatching the stolen goods with a nonchalant grin and leisurely walking away. Talk about an anticlimax. You would think that our criminal's embarrassing choice of getaway vehicle would be a lesson well learned, but believe it or not, he's not the only clueless thief to be outsmarted by a pickup truck. I guess it's just one of those things that make you scratch your head and wonder what's going on in the criminal mastermind department. Number 6. Embarrassing criminal mishaps. In Tucson, Arizona,
Is the
a
door gonna get
criminal would
locked
find
again?
himself in a very embarrassing situation when he was caught hanging upside
Oh,
down on the fence
see, they're
of an
showing all these
elementary
random
school
things.
with
Like
his
I think it's
pants
one
down.
thing, and then it's
An
a
eyewitness would
different
report that the
thing.
criminal was trying to break into Miles Elementary School, but had slipped and fell off of the fence. Unfortunately for him, his baggy pants got stuck on the spikes,
Well,
leaving him hanging by
doesn't
his
he have
ankles
strength
for
to like
everyone to see. The
lift
police would
himself up?
quickly arrive and helped him down from the
It's
fence,
just a
and
vertical
then
sit up
promptly
now.
arrested him, pulling him into the back of a police car. Now, it's still unclear why the man was trying to break into the elementary school. Perhaps he had some strange interest in coloring books. Although, considering how
What?
foolish he was, it's doubtful that he even had the ability to color within the lines. Regardless, he found himself in a very
Yeah, there's a lot of
embarrassing predicament.
things being shown
And
on the screen.
interestingly, this is not the
Like
only
this is
case
the
of a
main
criminal being
story,
caught in a similar
but there are so many
situation.
other
In England, a thief in
things
Dartford,
that they're
Kent, was
showing.
discovered hanging upside down by his shoelaces. He'd attempted to break into a home by climbing through a window, but ended up slipping and getting his shoe and shoelaces trapped in the window's frame. He dangled there for over an hour, all while a crowd had gathered to watch him and make fun of him. Then the
Dang,
homeowner
his foot
returned
didn't
from
break or
work,
something.
and the burglar pleaded to be released, but instead they called the police. Number 5. The Trapped Robber. Now, there
He
was
showed this
this
picture
guy
already
named
for
John
the
Bell who lived in Houston,
other
Texas. He
story,
had some
so
grand
kind of
ideas of robbing a cell phone store, and so he barged in like a bull in a china shop, waving his gun around and demanding some cash. But karma had other plans for John. The clever shopkeeper and some brainy customers had the brilliant idea of escaping and locking the door behind them. Poor John suddenly found himself in a sticky situation, like a bug caught
what
within a
is he doing
spider's web.
now?
Talk about a plot twist. John, desperate to make his great escape, had tried everything. He threw himself at the door like a madman, hoping that it would
What is he
magically
doing?
shatter or bend like rubber. But alas, the door remained strong and steadfast, mocking his futile attempts. The time ticked by as slowly as a sloth on vacation, and John's confidence dwindled faster
Now he
than
has a change of
melting ice
heart
cream cone
because he
on a
knows he's gonna
hot
get
summer
caught
day.
now.
He had even resorted to begging the passers-by to set him free, but his pleas would fall on deaf ears.
Mm-mm.
Instead, the noisy police sirens came blaring, announcing their grand
That's what he
entrance.
gets.
The jig was up for our wannabe criminal mastermind, and finally, the long arm of the law had
That's what
caught
they
up
all
with
get
John,
for doing dumb
ending his
stuff.
fleeting career in crime. The court did not waste any time in sentencing him to 5 years behind bars. Isn't it
Dang, 5
ironic?
years
In a
for
strange
that?
twist of fate, he had already experienced his sentence in only a few minutes. Number 4. Clumsy crooks. These
Was that
two
really worth
clumsy
5
crooks
years?
thought
Like,
that they were geniuses.
no one got hurt?
They had decided to
So,
rob a convenience
I'm
store,
confused.
but little did they
Does
know
the
that their plans were about
punishment
to flop like
match
a
the crime?
pancake. As they stumbled through the store, a police officer burst in like a superhero, ready to ruin their ill-advised adventure. In a desperate move, the woman cleverly grabbed an innocent bystander
Oh my
and
gosh.
flung him to the ground like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, she got up
Not
like nothing
exactly the
happened.
best way to ask for help.
Like she didn't just
Meanwhile,
fall through the
other
ceiling.
thief, we'll call him Mr. Clumsy, made a wild dash to escape, but got himself tangled in a maze of aisles. Fate had a good laugh as he ended up facing the police officer once again. Surrendered and outnumbered, did he give up? Oh no. He valiantly fought
Well, he got
back,
tased,
only to
didn't
receive a
he?
painful reminder in the form of a well-aimed gunshot. But our resilient Mr. Clumsy had a talent for bouncing back, and in no time he regained consciousness, having decided to try his luck once again.
Like,
Like
how
a
do you even
magician,
know where
he
to
tried
go?
disappear into thin air, but the
Like, you know
police
the whole
officer was
layout
not
of the
having
place?
any of
Like,
it.
how do you know
With a swift
you
move,
can go
he
back there
effortlessly immobilized our
and leave? I don't
wannabe
know.
Houdini, where meanwhile, our not-so-graceful heroine had her own escape plan. Sneaking toward the back of the store, she had dreamt of making a squirrel-like getaway through the ceiling. However, reality slapped her in the face when she crashed onto the floor like a falling piano. It turns
Where
out
her
that
shoes go?
gravity was not a fan of her cunning antics.
Wait,
Make matters
so
even
she
worse,
falls
the poor
through, and
woman
then
had
where
to
does she
pay for
even
the
go
damages
after
that?
that?
Were caused. Talk about an expensive mistake. Number 3. Escape gone wrong. This 40-year-old man
Okay.
found himself in a bit of a pickle. He was sitting in a cell at a police station in Brazil after getting caught for stealing. Now, he had this brilliant idea to escape and you won't believe how he tried to pull it off. You see, there was a small hole in the cell door's food passage, and it was only 30 centimeters wide, which is not exactly spacious.
Is he naked?
However, our daring thief
Why are
thought
they
that he
blurring
could squeeze
things?
through it and make a run for it. What an escape plan, right? As luck would have it, though, things did not go according to plan. As soon as he began to shimmy through that tiny hole, disaster
Are they
would
pushing
strike,
him
and he got stuck.
back in?
Can you imagine the panic? There he was, shouting for help, realizing that he had miscalculated his body dimensions or something. The police officers couldn't free him, so they had to call firefighters in for backup. That's right, firefighters actually had to come to the rescue of a thief that was stuck in a door. I bet they never expected that when they signed up for the job. After about 30 agonizing minutes, firefighters managed to save the day. They had to use a hydraulic tool to pry him out, and I can only imagine the relief on his face when he was finally freed from that door's clutches. Well, let's just say this thief's grand escape plan did not quite work out as he had hoped for. It looks like he'll have to stick to a life behind bars for a little while longer. And that's a lesson that's learned
Really?
the
Life
hard way.
behind bars?
Number 2.
I don't know.
Tales of
Sometimes he
absurd
says things. I don't know if he's
disguises.
joking or
In
not.
the town of Belleville, Illinois, there was a not-so-smart criminal who thought that robbing a gas station would be a great idea. And to hide his identity, he came up with
he
the
used a
brilliant
clear
plan
plastic
of wearing
bag.
a mask. But unfortunately, his choice of disguise was far from impressive. He walked into the store with a see-through plastic bag over his head.
Perfect.
Perhaps he had missed the memo on how masks were supposed to work. The criminal managed to snatch a whopping $60 from the gas station, but I will cut him some slack. It's not like he
Okay,
could carry much
so you
more
did
with that
all that
flimsy
for
bag on his head.
$60?
As you would expect, police got a hold of the CCTV footage, and surprise, surprise, they did not have a whole lot of trouble identifying the dim-witted thief. They quickly arrested him and gave him a 15-year vacation in prison for his little robbery
15
adventure.
years?
It turns out the guy had actually had a history of
Oh,
bad
okay.
decisions. But wait, there's more. In Louisa, Virginia, a couple of shoplifters would be caught on camera stealing alcohol from a convenience store. And their choice of disguise? 2 watermelons that were carved out to fit their heads, complete with eye holes. I mean, who knew criminals had a thing for
Why?
fruity fashion? The police would waste
They
no time in cracking
Couldn't
the
afford
fruity
ski
case
masks?
either.
Or what?
They
I don't
identified
understand.
one of the melon-headed culprits as 20-year-old Justin Rogers. He was slapped with a charge of larceny, and you'll wonder if the police used their own melons to track him down, because that would explain their uncanny ability to solve such melon-minded crimes. Number 1, the lawnmower
Okay, the last
bandit.
one.
Not all criminals are that dishonest. Believe it or not, some actually enjoy good old-fashioned hard work. And that's where this story takes a
Oh,
hilarious turn.
I think I've seen
This
this.
particular criminal must
He's
have
trying
been
to
the
steal
dumbest
the
or
lawnmower,
most considerate
but
thief
he
in
mows
the
the
world,
lawn first.
because after swiping a lawnmower from a home in Port Arthur, Texas, guess what he does? He then decides to do some yard work. That's right. He heads out into the
So
garden
weird.
and begins mowing the homeowner's lawn.
But did he
Talk
actually
about
steal it?
multitasking. Of course, the police show up and spoil the fun. Our crook, being the genius that he is, makes a run for it, dragging the stolen lawnmower
Oh,
behind him.
well,
But
I
here's
thought
where the comedy kicks in.
he wasn't
The
going to steal
lawnmower
it in the
turns
end.
out to be a real burden for our aspiring landscaper. It's too heavy and it slows him down, so he ditches it in an alleyway, thinking that he can escape more
But
easily.
what was the
And
reason?
now the police know exactly
Why would you
who
mow
they're
the
dealing
lawn?
with, because they spot the criminal, whose name is
I'm
Marcus
so
Hubbard,
confused.
on the security camera. But hold on to your horses. They haven't caught old Marcus yet. They're still on the lookout for him.
Oh, really?
Will he ever be found? Well, who knows. But here's the best part. While all of the chaos is unfolding, the homeowner is having the last laugh, because not only do they get their stolen lawnmower back, their lawn is neatly mowed for free. That's what I call a win-win
That's so
situation.
weird. Like, how are you going to steal something
Now
and then...
remember, these stories are not only about
like,
the sheer stupidity
cut the
of these
grass.
thieves, they also serve as a
Also, how are you
stern
going to steal
reminder
something
that
in someone's
crime
house and then just
doesn't
fall asleep?
pay.
Like, you
Sometimes
forgot
it
what
can
you're
be
doing?
downright hilarious. What did you think of these dumb criminals and their
Yeah, these are weird. Like, I don't understand people. Like, especially the ones that fall asleep during the crime. Like, you thought you just have time to sleep in the middle of the crime and the homeowner is not going to come home to find you there? So weird. Anyway, that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below. And if you want to see my experiences in Korea, you can check out my first channel, SEKSHI. And if you want to see my other socials, it's right here under my face. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.